your application review, we're going to be using linear relationships from word problems. So number one, Brooklyn is going to make monthly payments towards a smartphone costing $300. How long will it take her to pay for the smartphone? So if I look next to this, let's underline this so we know we need to make sure we go back and answer that question. Then we have the table, the interpretation equation, and then the graph at the end. So let's look at the table. It's already filled in for us. We know at month 4, there's a balance of $200. At month 5, a balance of $175, and in month 6, a balance of $150. So we know that it's getting less and less and less, so it's going to be a negative slope. I'm going to find the slope using the formula. I'm going to write the formula. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'm going to start on the y side, and I'm going to go this direction. And I know if I go that direction on that side, I have to go that direction on this side as well. So I'm going to substitute the numbers in. I have on the y side 200 minus 175 over 4 minus 5. Okay. So now I can solve for slope. 200 minus 175 is 25. 4 minus 5 is negative 1. So my M is negative 25. So we can now go to the next part, the interpretation in the equation. So the rate of change, which is the slope, is negative 25. We need to interpret that. So it's negative because she's paying that and the balance is decreasing each time. So she pays $25 each month. That's what the negative 25 means. The initial value is going to be the b, or the y-intercept. And to do that, we are going to use y equals mx plus b. And I'm going to use the 4 and the 200 as my y, x and y. So 200 equals, the m is negative 25, the x is 4 plus b. Now I'm going to solve it, and I'll have the b, or the y-intercept, or the initial value. Negative 25 times 4 is negative 100 plus b. Now I can add 100 to both sides. So 300 equals b. And now we have to interpret that. And the 300 is her beginning balance because that's how much the smartphone is. $300 is her beginning balance. Now that I have the m and the b, I can write my equation. So y equals negative 25x plus 300. I want to clarify this part because it looks a little bit, it looks very wrong. That is the ordered pair that we chose to use, the substituted for our x and our y. So it should actually look like 4, 200. It's the ordered pair from the table that we used so that we could find the b, the y-intercept initial value. Now let's go to the next part. Which is going to be the graph. So on the graph, I'm going to write the order, or the equation we have, negative 25x plus 300, because I need to find out what I need to label on my graph. So I know that the negative 25 is the slope, and that's $25. So I'm going to have dollars on this side per month. So down here will be the month. I'm going to number the months just in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then I'm going to look at the slope that I have. I have negative 25. So that means it needs to go up in increments of 25 possibly, or even 50. I'm going to use 50 so that I can get all the way up to the 300. So I'm going to start with 50. The next one will be $100, $150, $200, $250, 300, 350, and 400. Can't get that 4 right. Now I'm going to plot the points from my table first because I think that will be the easiest. So I have 4, 200. So I'm going to go to the 4 on the X and go up to 200. Then I'm going to go to the 5. At the 5 months, I would have 175. So here's 5 months. I'm going to go up to 150 and then go halfway because that would be the 175. And then for 6, we would be at $150 balance. Then I can look at my equation and plot the M and the B. The B is 300, so that's my beginning point on the y-axis. And it's going to decrease by 25 over 1. So I'm going to go down 25 over 1. Down 25 over 1. Down 25 over 1. Down 25 over 1. And then I can go over to the 6 and go down 25 over 1. And I can continue to go as long as the graph allows. We're not finished with this one yet. We have to go back to the first column and answer the question of how long will it take her to pay for the smartphone. Well, we want the y, which is the balance, to be 0 when she has her smartphone, when she's paid it off. So we have our equation, y equals negative 25x plus 300. We're looking for the month, which is the x value. And we want, like I said, our y value to be 0 because that's our balance. When she's at 0 balance, that means she's paid off the smartphone. So 0 equals negative 25x plus 300. So pause it and see if you can solve it yourself and see how long it will take her to pay off her smartphone. So to start solving, we're going to subtract 300 from both sides. 0 minus 300 is negative 300 equals negative 25x. Negative 25 and x are connected together by multiplication. So that means we're going to divide both sides by the negative 25 to get that x isolated. When you do that, negative 300 divided by negative 25 is 12, positive 12 equals x. So now we have to figure out, well, what does that mean? The 12 means that that's how many months it will take her to pay off her smartphone. So 12 months would be our answer. Let's look at question number 2. A shoe store offers free points when you sign up for their rewards card. Then each pair of shoes purchased, for each pair of shoes purchased, you can earn an additional number of points. The graph shows the total points earned for several pairs of shoes. How many points will you have after 20 pairs of shoes? I'm going to underline this. How many points will you have after 20 pair of shoes? So we're going to look at the graph because that is the one thing that is actually filled out for us. I'm going to look at the graph and try to figure out what my equation is going to be. And I'm going to find the points that I can use to do that. So I'm going to do it again. And I see that the points I have are 1 and 45, 2 and 60, and so on. And by using these points, I can find the slope, I can find the y-intercept, and I can write my equation. Let's fill out our table first. So on our table, we have shoes as our x value and points as the y. Let's start off with 0. If you buy 0 pairs of shoes, you still get to have points. And we look at our graph, and it's 30 points just for signing up. Then you have 1 pair of shoes, and that is 45 points. 2 pair of shoes is 60. 2 is 60. And 3 would be 75. Now I can use this to find the slope and plug it into the slope formula. So m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'm going to go this direction on both sides. So we have 30 minus 45 over 0 minus 1. I'm going to solve the numerator problem. 30 minus 45 is negative 15. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. So that means my m equals positive 15. I can now go to the rate of change part, and I have to interpret it. So that 15 means that that's how many points I get per pair of shoes. So 15 points per pair of shoes. To find the initial value, which is the b, I have to choose an ordered pair. I'm going to choose the first one, which is 0, 30, and I'm going to substitute it into y equals mx plus b. Remember, that's our x, that's our y, and our m is 15. So 30 equals 15 times 0 plus b. So 30 equals 0 plus b. And so we know that the b is going to be 30. And what does that 30 mean? Well, that's the 30 points that we get just for signing up for the program. So 30 points for signing, not singing, signing up. We have the m, we have the b, we can write our equation. So y equals 15x plus 30. That would be our equation. have to go back to the original problem. How many points will you have after 20 pairs of shoes? So we're going to use the y equals 15x plus 30. And how many points? Points is our y, so we're looking for the y for 20 pairs of shoes. So the 20 is going to be substituted in place of the x because that's our x value. So y equals 15 times 20 plus 30. So we only have to multiply 15 and 20 and then add 30 to get this one. So when you multiply 15 times 20, you get 300. And you add 30 to that. So y equals 330. And that means that you would have 330 points